Okay, so our topic this week is fecal matter transplants. In the video that we watched, it said that there were a lot of conditions that this can be used to treat, like C. diff or irritable bowel syndrome or colitis. Um, the doctor in the video stated that normally when a patient's having like C. diff or another issue, 65% of those individuals can be treated by antibiotics alone, and that when using fecal matter transplant, you have a 90% um, improvement with those people who aren't or who are resistant to antibiotic treatment for those disorders or diseases. So, in a fecal matter transplant, what happens is you take so, like a person who doesn't have good bacteria in their system, which nowadays, like people are prescribed antibiotics so often that their body builds up a resistance to that, and it wipes out all of the good bacteria in your system. So, therefore, like the good bacteria and flora that you have in your stomach and in your bowel actually help the system by like warding off other infections and things like that. Um, and you need that good bacteria in your gut to process things. So when a person is taking antibiotics consistently for other things, it may wipe out even the good bacteria in your gut and bowel that you need um, to have there. So in a fecal transplant, what they do is they take fecal matter from a healthy individual, and from what I read on different case studies and stuff is that you want to use fecal matter from a person who is relatively close to you, may live in the same household as you, things like that. So their stomach is basically processing the same things that your stomach is, minus the antibiotics and the disorder that the sick individual may have. So you want to use fecal matter from a close relationship individual. So you take the fecal matter from that individual or the stool sample that that person produces, and then it goes through a process where it cleans out all of the unwanted substance, leaving only like the good bacteria and things that the sick individual is needing. And then they take that substance, that fecal residue that's left over, and they implant it into the sick person through an enema. I've also seen times um, where they put it through a NG tube down the nose, so that way it's actually in the stomach, and the body of the sick person actually has to go through the whole process of processing that fecal matter in the stomach, so the good bacteria is actually all the way through the gut and bowel syndrome or gut and bowel system. But in this video, it talked about transplanting that through an enema process. Um, so they said that there's a good success rate with this. The doctor that was on the video actually treated a little boy in Kansas, Trenton, for a disorder that he had, and did a follow up on that child, and it actually is working well for him. He continues to have normal um, fecal production in his system and stuff like that. So it's actually shown to have a pretty good success rate, even though when it's first brought up to people, they shun the idea because they just can't wrap their head around having somebody else's species in their body. But it actually is very beneficial to individuals with these disorders that can't seem to get over the hump and let their body heal from that stuff. So that's all we got for you on fecal matter this week. Thanks.